Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. What's this? That's interesting. It's been a minute. Welcome, welcome. This video is going to be a little bit different, but before we get into the topic being my first investment, as you can see, we've got some graded cards from a little known company called Premier Card Grading, which, if you haven't already seen it, I've been someone that's been supporting Rudy and Rudy's channel, and now I am taking the ultimate task of not being promoted by PCG, but sticking with them in the fight with PSA. I don't like PSA for very many reasons, and if there's an underdog story to ever be told, I would say PCG is the way to go. If you go with other companies, you could go with Tag, you could go with Beckett, go where you feel comfortable with. If you still like PSA, by all means. But if you want a company that doesn't want to upcharge your cards and give you really nice labs, I thought about opening this and showing off all of the cards, but instead, I'm going to show off one card, just so that we can get, a taste and idea of what we're dealing with here. So, let's go with the big one here, the big one. So, flashback to November 2025, or was it fall? I have to retrace my steps there, but we come out with the anniversary set of OP13, and not only that, we have a misprinted card in this set, an error card. It is, in fact, the Ace Wanted error card. The luck of the gods came down and said, hey, have this as a future token. And I thought, you know what? This deserves to be graded. Not only is it a very rare card, but it is a very rare card from a very sought after set. So, and I haven't even taken the packaging off this yet because I want to save it for a future video coming soon with all of this. But as an example, as you can see up close, they do a very good job of not only showcasing exactly what is right and wrong with the card, but just look at that. It looks so good. The gold bordering, it's got the population if you want to look on that, but this is definitely something that I want to hold for a very long time. Anyways, PCG. Give them a try. If you check out one of Rudy's videos, he gives out some coupons. You can get $20 express cards. You can get even cheaper basic 30-day turnaround cards. Go check them out. I'm not sponsored at all, again, with them, but this is the company I will be going with in the future for graded cards. 2026. Now, trading cards. Nevertheless, I was around when Pokemon became a thing and when it started to become a trading card game designed to be sold to me when I was a kid. And now I am a 34-year-old man. still talking about Pokemon. And why is that? Well, the trading card game over time went from being a fun collectible to being a fun sought after collectible. And for the longest time, with all these card games, started off with Pokemon, went to Yu-Gi-Oh, went to Magic the Gathering, and then just other fun games. But a small percent of the time I was on the collecting side. Most of the time it was just for the fun of it, just opening things, and there weren't rip and ship, there weren't, all these crazy things that you're seeing in the big 26 now. However, the first investment I made into Pokemon, you could say, is when the card game started out. However, if I did have that folder of Pokemon cards, whatever rarity they might be, I cannot find them anymore. They're either gone, I either had my parents dump them, or they got thrown away, or something happened. But something else changed, which is in the year 2016, after I've graduated college, don't really know where my prospects in life are going to be. I still had friends at home that were still into collecting really fun things. I went through Funko Pops, I went through Amiibos. That was a big mistake. A lot of learning came after seeing what type of investments I was making. And I went back to Pokemon because in 2016, I believe we were celebrating the 20th anniversary. And I thought, you know what? A lot of these cards, reprinting some old, base set, first edition cards as an anniversary set. I think these will hold value in the future. I think it will be a sought after thing. And that was like the first time in my head I was like, you know what, like, I don't make a ton of money. However, at the time, Pokemon boxes or booster boxes were going for $120. And I bought myself a box to just sit on. I didn't know how long I was gonna sit on it, but I said, you know what? I'm gonna give it 5 to 10 years and see what happens. Now, things are completely different from what I imagined the Pokemon market is gonna be. Will it be like this forever? No, it's definitely gonna change. When will it change? It's gonna take some time because there's a lot of volume, there's a lot of money, and it's not just Pokemon. Pokemon's not even my biggest investment right now. It's One Piece. I think One Piece will, over time, even when the story ends, I think it's gonna be as big as Pokemon has continued to be. Pokemon usually appreciates between 2 and 5% a year. We went from 2016 of my friends and I collecting fun Pokemon cards, reminiscing about some first generation, second generation stuff. And a lot of us did hold our cards, and a lot of those cards I kept in just your regular old folders, binders, whatnot. And this year, a lot of those cards went from being like $5, $10 cards to $100, $200, $300 cards, and they were really helpful for me. I was able to sell those and then reinvest that capital into other sealed product. And it wasn't even until 2015 where I came back. I'm just going full into sealed product now. Sealed, graded cards. But yeah, let me, without further ado, and it's funny too, because at the time, so right here, I have box. This is my first investment in 2016. A booster box of XY Evolutions. It's not a case, it's just one box. Bought this for $120 in 2016. Now, on the big 26th, July, I have successfully sold this box for a nice $2,400.
Here comes the money!
A booster box 10 years ago. Again, I did not think I would sit on this for that long. But if you're patient and you wait, good things can happen. Just like this. Not a guarantee that'll happen, but this box has 20x'd its value. And I could hold on for it longer, and that number can slowly still keep going up. I imagine that by the end of this year, probably these will be going for 3K, maybe 4, probably 3. And it's still crazy because at the time, people did not like this set. I even today, from the same card store that I go to, the owner still had a box of these out back, and I had mentioned that I purchased one from there, and he was like, I had such a hard time selling that set. And now, because there are some really good cards in this set, there's just not a lot of these boxes left, especially when you wait that long. So there's some big benefit that can happen, but you're not gonna know the number right away. And if you're looking to get into a long-term, long-form holding of sealed product, you have to be patient. And you don't want to offload it all at once either, because you can run into some issues that way. But I have a lot of big things happening towards the end of this year. Right now, it's July. The market slowed down. There's some small crashes happening, but that is, to me, part of a healthy market. One Piece is still doing well. I think the second reprint of OP16's gone out, that the price has fallen a bit, which I tend to like to see. That means more product can get into more people's hands that way. Reveal of OP17 came out. It's an anniversary set. It's gonna do hot. It's gonna do great. Magic the Gathering collector boxes are still the hot ticket item, I say. Play boxes, I agree with Rudy on. I think those are just, you know, if you're not in debt and you have the capital to do it. The Hobbit's coming out. It's not gonna be like those other Lord of the Rings sets where they're gonna go to 10 to 20K or anything like that. At least not like overnight. That will still take a couple more years, but Hobbit will still be a fire set. And then One Piece happening with OP17 in August. And then September is the Pokémon 30th. And it's gonna be expensive. Everyone's gonna want it. My advice is, because FOMO is addictive, just be careful. I honestly, unless you're really gearing for a certain product, I wouldn't even consider the pre-orders. I think doesn't mean you have to wait in line and watch people fight over product that's meant for kids, but what I would say is that as far, if you're just looking for long-term investment, just look at the older Pokemon products. Look at SV, look at Sword and Shield, and yeah, and you know, put your money in things that you believe in. And for me, it's gonna be One Piece stuff, and then it's gonna be some Magic, and it's gonna be some Pokemon. Disney Lorcana is looking attractive right now. There's Flesh and Blood. There's Sorcery. There's Weiss. There's a lot. There's Godzilla. That one's doing well. And you know, I don't have my hand in every bucket, but if there's a bucket that intrigues you, you should go for it, or at least take a look at it and see what you can do with it. But long-term investments can pay off, and for me, I feel like it did. I feel like I have put enough time into this where I can sell it and then reinvest that capital into other cardboard or other things. So anyways, I just want to make a video on my investment. I might have rambled a bit long, but support PCG. Video with that coming soon. I will be working on more RyGuy videos. That's the end of this video. That's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Support PCG. Make good investments, and stay away from drugs. Bye-bye.
Alright, let's try some drugs.